Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, first thing I gotta say is that hideous noise you hear in the background is my fan running on medium speed, because I can't turn it any lower than that on account of how hot it is in here right now. It's like 85 degrees in here, and it's almost 10 o'clock at night, and it's still 85 degrees. That's ridiculous. Oh well, I'll find a way to deal, mostly by sitting in front of the fan a lot. Anyway, things are going pretty good. Got a lot going on with the streaming. I haven't had too much luck the last couple of days. Like earlier today and yesterday, my jaw started itching. It caused me to end the stream early, 2 days in a row, and I hate that because I'm having a lot of fun with the streams. It's great. There's great people on the watching and on the chat and so on. It's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun, good conversation, good people, and so on. Enjoying the heck out of that. And meanwhile, there is also a thing coming up. Coming up very soon is a worldwide holiday. Can you name what holiday that is? That's a trivia question. I'll answer that in the next video. And also, I have noticed something of a warning. This warning comes in the form of the strip of my hand right here. It is turned numb. I noticed it a couple of weeks ago, and I've been trying to make sure of it. But yeah, it's not just me sleeping wrong and part of my hand going numb because of that, you know, laying on your arm wrong and cutting off circulation and stuff like that. Oh, no. This is a little more serious than that. This is the same kind of numbness that crept into my feet 3 or 4 years ago. And I know what causes it. It's caused by me being diabetic and not having had my medication for about 3 years. And what causes that is when you tend to high blood sugar like I do. And by high blood sugar, my blood sugar tends to well over 300. And when you stop and think that 80 to 110 is what's considered normal, this is not great. This is not excellent. And what happens is that really high blood sugar like that, it makes the blood thick, a lot thicker. And that means that it has difficulty getting through the thinner, smaller capillaries. And when that condition persists over a period of time, you start to lose some of the nerves. Some of the nerves in the extremities begin to die out. I've already had this happening in my feet since a couple, 3 years ago. And now it's going on in my hand. Just my right hand. Just, like I said, right along in here. It's only that part. It ain't affecting nothing else. But that constant, continuous, it ain't never going to go away numbness is a warning. It means that my blood sugar is still, as I pretty much knew full well, way out of control. My efforts to control it by means of dietary things is not working. And I can tell you why. Because here's the things that get, the main things that get turned into the blood sugar, which is glucose. You look at an ingredients list of food and things that like sucrose, fructose, sucralose, lactose, and glucose, and other things that end in ose. The OSE ending in most food ingredients means that it is a sugar. Sugars are things that the body will process and turn into glucose. That is your blood sugar. And yeah, The other things that get processed into blood sugar is carbohydrates. Try coming up with a low sugar, low carbohydrate diet on a very limited budget. You will find that the things you can afford for, say for example, one person for a month is going to spend what? $150, $200 on food, more than likely. Try coming up with a low blood sugar, a diet that is low in carbohydrates and low in sugars on that. Now, as far as adding sugar to stuff, there's only one thing that I add sugar to, and that's my coffee. And once upon a time, I used to put as much as 5 or 6 teaspoons of sugar per cup of coffee. Several years ago, I cut that back to 2. And here recently, with my little warning, I have cut it back to just a hair over 1. And I'm not just guessing here. I use an actual measuring spoon to dole out the sugar. Coffee is the only thing in the world I put sugar in. And I've cut my coffee intake back from 3 pots a day to about 1.5 pots. Yeah. The rest of it is what's in the food. You know, when all you can afford to buy is things like macaroni and cheese and ramen noodles and stuff and things like that that are inexpensive, you're going to find yourself consuming a lot of carbohydrates. Now, I could come up with a good low carbohydrate diet that would have me eating plenty enough to feel satisfied, get all the nutrition I need, and keep my daily carbohydrate intake down to less than 50 grams a day. I've done it. The problem is that eating like that would cost about $300 a month, because that requires a whole bunch of fresh vegetables and fresh ingredients and stuff that, frankly, that costs more than the cheap stuff. A lot more. Yeah. That's going to be fun working that out, but I'm going to work on it. I'm going to get it done one way or another. It's going to happen. I have to make it happen, but otherwise the numbness will spread. Because that numbness is just the first stage of the warning that a diabetic gets. It happens in your feet, it happens in your hands and your fingers and stuff like that. And then sometime down the line, eventually, it could be years, it could even be decades, but sooner or later down the line, a doctor's going to look at you and say, I have to cut that off, because it's dead. That happens. It's an extreme situation, but believe me, I've done the research. I did the research and the reading and the Googling and whatnot on diabetic stuff, on everything diabetic I could find. Years ago when I was first diagnosed. I know what this means. I know what it is. Another thing that can happen is that a diabetic could go blind. Between numbness, the eventual setting in of gangrene and losing limbs, extremities, or even entire limbs, and going blind, yeah, that sounds like a heck of a lot of fun, doesn't it? Seems to me that some way or another I have to find a way to pay the doctor the several $100 that they want so that I can even make an appointment. Because I've tried to make an appointment. They won't let me make an appointment until I pay them some $200 or $300. Nonsense. That's crap, isn't it? That's just total crap. Okay, I just realized that I have been rattling on here for almost 10 minutes. And I'm sure that when you add the intro and outro, it's over 10 minutes. So I will now shut up. Trivia answer coming to next video. I was going to say tomorrow, but hopefully tomorrow, but you know how I've been lately. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here. Here's the TinFoilChef.